Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Busy morning. Hello, Sala. Hello, Hussein. Hello, everyone. Is it Burju, I think? And Ruslan, hello, my friend. Hello, konnichiwa in Japan. It's morning here, everybody. 10:23 a.m. I'm glad you like the co-streaming idea on YouTube. The quality is a little bit better, and you can see the subtitles, and there's no time limit, right? Hello, Alina. Let me tilt this down just a little more. There. That's better. Did I finish my book? No, not yet. I'm still working on it. It's now that I have my website finished, my book is back on my priority list. I'm getting computer savvy with the co-streaming idea. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how to do this, Ruslan, and actually, I'm hoping to actually do multi-streaming on many platforms at once at some point. Right now, I'm just focusing on YouTube and Hello Talk, but eventually, I have a computer that is good enough that I should be able to stream on several platforms at once. Eventually. But right now, I'm happy I have YouTube going, and I don't want to confuse people too much, and or confuse myself either. Hello, Ahad Ali. Ali, I'm good. How are you? Bad news is you didn't win the diversity visa lottery. You mean to come to the U.S.? An i9 computer? I don't know if it's an i9. Let me see. I can't remember what it is. I had a computer built just for this. I'm actually a Mac guy. I like Mac computers. So I have not owned a PC in a long time, but I had my friend build one for me just for the purposes of doing multi-streaming. So let's see. Where's my specifications? Yeah, it's an i9. 12th gen Intel i9 12,900K, 3.2 gigahertz, 32 gigs of RAM. So yes, it's an i9. Yeah, I love Apple, but Apple doesn't do multi-streaming well yet because multi-streaming computers are basically gaming computers. And I'm not a gaming guy, so I don't know anything about that either, but Macs are good for stuff, other stuff, right? But not for gaming or for streaming yet. Eventually, I know they're trying to build some stuff that's better for streaming now, but they haven't yet done so. So I got a PC just for doing this. I don't really use this computer for anything else but for my business as a teacher and live streaming. Let's see. It would be great to be able to listen to these podcasts or these broadcasts as podcasts on Spotify. Well, I have something else. So I'm recording all of my live streams on Hello Talk are simul streamed, or at the same time I'm streaming on YouTube. So if you want to, you can go to my YouTube channel right now and join. And it's the same thing. It's just there's a delay of about, 30 seconds or so. But it's the same thing that you're seeing here on YouTube. But all of my voice rooms, I record them for a podcast that I'm going to be releasing soon. So you can, that's coming soon. I have many, many podcast recordings made from my voice rooms. I just need to upload them to Spotify and a bunch of other platforms for podcasts. Okay. What was the total cost of my whole setup? Well, I don't really want to talk numbers like that, my friend, but it cost me a lot of money. I'm not a rich man, but it's my business. So I invested the money I needed to make this happen. So it was expensive. And that's right, Ruslan. Yeah, Mac is for people like me. I don't know anything about computers, and technically, I don't really want to know anything about computers. So I love Mac because I don't have to know anything about computers or programming or coding or administrative stuff. It just works the way I want it to work when I want it to work. So I still have Mac, and I use my Mac for all my personal stuff, but I use the PC for the streaming and teaching now. Let's see. What is rich and poor mean? Well, rich means you have a lot of money, and poor means you don't. Is that what you're talking about? Or are you talking about for richer and poorer, which is a phrase that they say when you get married? Okay, let's see. And yes, I will finish. When I finish my book, I will tell you. It is back on my priority list of things to do. Yeah, I have an M1 Air, MacBook Air that I'm using, and it's still great. Yeah, but I'm sure the M3 is amazing. Hello, Wasim. You're a computer teacher? Well, then you can teach me, because I don't know anything about computers. I'm not a good computer guy. Wrong, give me one more minute. I need to go get some more coffee, everybody. Let me refresh my coffee, and then I'll be back down, and I'll bring some people on stage to talk to them. But actually, the first person I need to bring on stage is Salah, because he said he wanted to talk to me today. And is TikTok forbidden in the U.S.? Not yet, no. They're talking about it, but I don't believe it's actually been banned yet. It's they're talking about it in the government. about the possibility of banning it, but it has not been banned yet. So I'll be right back, everybody. I'm just going to go get some more coffee. Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. How do I cook my coffee? How do I make my coffee? I make it in a coffee maker, and then I pour it over a big glass of ice and add some almond creamer, almond milk. I like iced coffee. I can't drink hot coffee's great, but you can't drink it quickly. And I need coffee. I need a lot of coffee in my system to get me going. I can't just be doing these little. So I drink a lot. Coffee is not good for my health. Actually, there are a bunch of studies that say it is actually pretty good for you. Simply, you can find a study online that'll tell you anything. You know, so it might not be the best for me, but it's not the worst for me. Life is too short to worry about simple things like whether coffee's going to kill you or not. My Chinese followers always tell me that cold drinks are not good for you, right? I know all about the Chinese health ideas about cold drinks and stuff, right? So they always tell me, you know, you shouldn't drink cold things, right? Well, I tell them that I've been drinking cold coffee every day for the last 2 or 3 years. So I'm having it's like an experiment. It's on camera, right? So if I die, then we'll know about it. They consider TikTok as a Trojan horse in the U.S. Well, yeah, not just the U.S., though. I mean, they're not the only one who's banned it. And there are good reasons for why they do. So let's see. Rapid says, I'm saying the Americans' different mindset of richness, like private resorts, luxury houses, fancy cars, and country like some... yeah, but Rapid, sure. There are many people in America who the idea of richness is just money and stuff. Sure, a lot of people think that. Not just Americans, but all over the world. There are lots of people who they associate richness with having money and having lots of things. Luxury things, right? I associate richness with richness of life. Do you have a life worth living? Do you do things that are valuable to the world? Do you Are you learning? Are you growing? So there are many, many, many rich people who I think are very poor because they only... Goodbye. Goodbye. Anyway, the point is that I was trying to make was that I know a lot of rich people who I don't admire because they're very shallow inside as a person. So they're very poor in character. They might be rich in their bank, but they're poor in character. Okay. Let me get to some quotes over here, or some, not quotes, some comments over here, and then I will, let's see. Sala, are you still there, Sala? Where are you, Sala? Sala, hello? I don't see you. And yes, I drink cold coffee. Cheers. You were right. It killed me. Hello, Nico. Hello, Mustafa. Hello, Lokestar. Is it summer yet? Not quite. It's still late spring. It'll be summer soon. How can some people change themselves easily, but others can't? That's a complicated question. I think you can't answer that without speaking about specific people. You can't make a general answer about that. You have to answer specifically about how this person was able to change themselves easily, but somebody else couldn't. And yes, Kevin, I've been in Hello Talk for over 10 years. That's right. Sala, is that you wrong? Sala, are you Sala? How many accounts do you have? Hello, Bellin. Okay, I didn't know that was you. All right, so let's get Sala on stage. Oh, I see. So there's some kind of a weird thing. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I need to report there's a problem. Hello, Sala. One moment. Let me talk to you in just 1 second. Hold on.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 20 years
22.
old.
22?
Yeah.
Wow, you look so young. Wow, okay. All right. And so tell me, what can I do for you today?
How can I improve my speaking and listening and writing and reading?
Well, you need to make a plan for each of those things, okay? All of my students, I help them with 8 areas of English. reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Those are the 8 areas that I think everybody needs to work on to learn a language well. Okay? And you have to think about it like this is a fight. This is a fight. And in a fight, you need a good plan. Okay? You have to make a battle plan, right? So you have to, you have to make a plan for how am I going to improve my reading? Well, you need to read a lot. You need to find some good things that you can read. Okay? How can you improve your speaking? You need a plan for speaking.
Okay.
How can you practice speaking a lot? And Salah, I often tell people that the secret of speaking well is thinking well. So you have to try to think in English every day. Okay? You have to think in English every day.
Okay.
The more you can think in your language, the more comfortable you will be with that language. Okay? So, like I learned Chinese, and I live in the United States, but I can practice my Chinese every day because I think in Chinese. Okay? So that's one of the most important parts of language is you have to think about it. Yeah. It's really the most important part of language is thinking. Okay? So, and if you can think well, then you can speak well. Okay? Okay. Do you have any
Can
other?
you recommend me some apps for these things?
Sure. So for reading, you should go to eslfast.com. That's the website that I use for my students for reading. eslfast.com. They have about 3,000 short stories. Okay, eslfast.com is a great one. You can also go to iteslj.org/questions. That's another good website. This website has a lot of different topics and a lot of questions about those topics. So you can read the questions and think about how can I answer them. And it's really good practice to try to figure out how do you know how to talk about those topics or not. Some of the topics are very easy. Some of the topics are very difficult. Okay? So there's 2 good websites for that.
Okay.
All right?
And reading?
Reading is for ESL. Reading is for eslfast.com. And for writing, you can use ChatGPT.
I mean, writing.
Use ChatGPT for your writing. Okay? So go to ChatGPT and you can say, I need to improve my writing. Tell ChatGPT you want to improve your writing. And then tell it, please give me some writing exercises to do. And then you can, it'll say, write a story about your vacation. Write an article about your school. It'll give you a bunch of exercises to try. And then you tell ChatGPT, please correct my grammar and tell me what I did wrong. And it will. It will say, oh, well, you need a period here, but you didn't put a period there. And you need a period at the end of a sentence. Okay? Or it'll tell you that you should have used the past tense word here and not the present tense word here. Okay? So use ChatGPT to improve your writing. Okay? So, Salah, you're in Cairo or where?
Yeah, in Cairo.
Okay. All right. Great. So, do you have any other questions for me, Salah?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Well, keep working on it and practice every day. Okay, practice every day. Learning a language is something that you have to be very dedicated. You have to practice every day. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll keep going,
Okay.
and I'll see you next time. Okay, Salah.
Okay.
Take care, my friend.
Bye bye.
22. He looks like he's 16 at best. I don't know if he's pulling my leg or not. All right, let me get to some comments here. Let's see. Ahad, if you go to my Facebook page, Ahad, on my Facebook page, I have hundreds of good quotes in my albums. So go to my Facebook page and you can find all of my best quotes there, okay? Search for AFIEC English. Let me see. Yeah. Search for AFIEC English Coaching on Facebook, and you'll find my Facebook page, and there are many, many quotes there. Hello, Noor. Noor says, I want to know how I should teach English for kids and adults without teaching them rules and grammar. How can you make them acquire the language? Well, Noor, you can't completely avoid grammar. You can't completely avoid it. Grammar is an important part of any language. But I do think that there's too much focus on grammar in most books. So, Noor, one of the best ways that you can teach people English quickly, or any language quickly, is to start with a travel phrase book. A travel phrase book. So get an English travel phrase book and use that as your book to teach your students. Because English travel phrase books are not designed to teach you grammar. They're designed to teach you how can I use the language very, very quickly because I'm going on vacation. How can I use the language practically in a bank, in a restaurant, to meet new friends at a bar, right? So travel phrase books are one of the best things you can do to start learning any new language. If you want to learn German, get a German travel phrase book. If you want to learn French, get a French travel phrase book. Start with that. Then go to the other books after that. And Snail, YouTube does work in China if you have magic. 很多中国人看我的 YouTube 的 channel， 可是我觉得他们用好棒的魔法。Okay, please be patient. Please be patient. Please be patient. Hello, Nazira. Thank you, Loving Alice. Thank you, They Have. Yes, thinking in English is the most important part of learning a language. You think it's a very shallow approach. Well, I didn't say that you should only use a travel phrase book, Ruslan. I'm saying that's a fast way to get started in any language practically, because those books focus on practical usage of the language quickly. And most people who buy a travel phrase book, they just use it for 2 weeks when they're on vacation. But if you treat it like a different thing, if you treat it like, oh, this is my new study book for this year, then actually you can learn the language quickly, very easily. Yeah. Ah, right. That's right. That's what I'm saying. For people who don't have a lot of time for studying and you want to get into the language quickly, then travel phrase books are excellent. They really, really are. And the truth is, all over the world, every language taught in any country, they focus too much on the grammar. They don't focus enough on practical language. Every country in the world that teaches any language, let's think about it. In 1 year, let's say you're learning French. Okay? If you're learning French in 1 year and you have 20 students in that class, how many of those students will be able to speak French in some way at the end of that year? Not many. Not that many, really. So the problem is that the system that they use right now is not very effective because it focuses on grammar too much and not enough on practical language and practical usage, right? So that's why I'm saying a travel phrase book is a much better way to jump into any language. I seem upset when I'm speaking? No, I'm not upset. Simply Orange. I'm passionate. There's a big difference. Sometimes I'm upset, but do I seem upset now? Believe me, when I'm upset, you'll know. When I'm upset, you'll know. When I'm upset, I sound like this. What happened? What is going on? One moment. All right, now let's try that again. When I'm upset, I sound like this.
What are you doing? Don't do that!
Okay, let's see. Again, please be patient. Let me catch up with the comments. Hello, Maria. Nazira, be patient. I'll try to get you up in a minute. Abu Bakr, I'll also try to get you up in a minute. Just give me a second. Hello, Annie. Long time no see. Yes, I'm still here teaching English. Anything says, how can I stay passionate about learning English and not get bored easily? Yes, I have lots of advice for that. If you want to learn something and not get bored, you need as many different ways to learn that thing as possible. So it's easy to get bored if you just have one book and that's the only thing you use to learn, then yeah, you're going to get bored very easily. But when I want to learn something, when I learn Chinese, I have books, I have videos, I have apps, I have friends, I have teachers, I have live streams, I have podcasts, I have everything that I can get my hands on. So if you're frustrated and bored with one thing, okay, try the other one. And then when you get frustrated and bored with that, switch to another one. Your brain wants things to be new and different. So let it. Okay? I call that building your mountain of learning. Okay? It means you shouldn't just have one book. You know, oh, here's book one. Let's do book one, and then we'll finish book one. And then do book two, and then finish book two. And then do book three. No. Get book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get all the books about everything, about vocabulary and grammar and pronunciation and reading and writing and listening and speaking. Get them all and make a stack of books. And then that's how you can stay interested. Give yourself many, many, many different ways to look at the same problem. Okay, that's the secret of learning anything well. Okay? You guess I'm always happy because I know how to enjoy life. I am definitely not always happy. I'm a human being. I get sad and angry and upset just like anybody else. Do I have mood swings frequently? Not frequently, but sometimes. Hello, Pikes. Okay. Yes, I think you need to have different methods and means for learning English. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. My work is what you see right now. I am an English teacher. I'm an online teacher. I do anything that I can do. My job, when people say, what's your job? My job is being me. That means I will do anything that I think I can do. So I'm a drummer. I'm a professional drummer. I've played in many hundreds of bands. I've done many recordings. And I also teach drums. And I also am an English teacher. And I also have done marketing work. And I'm writing a book. And I've done some translation, business facilitation work. I do anything that I think I can do. Okay? All right, let's get somebody on my stage. Let's see. First, Abdikani, I'm not drinking water in front of you. I'm drinking coffee in front of you. And what am I supposed to do? Not drink anything for 2 hours while I'm teaching? I'm sorry, but no. I don't know what to tell you. I have to have something to drink while I'm teaching. I have to talk a lot. Why is drinking water in front of people not good? Can someone explain that to me? All right, let's see. Nazira, did you want to come on stage? Is Nazira still here? Let's talk to Nazira. You're welcome, Pikes. Nazira, are you there? There's Nazira. Hello, Nazira. Hello, Nazira.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm also good. How about you? You are teaching very well, so I'm so happy to have with you.
Thank you. And you're in Afghanistan, right?
Yeah, I'm from Afghanistan. I'm living in capital of Afghanistan.
Oh, okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're welcome. Do you have any questions for me or anything I can help you with today?
Yes, I would like to learn something from you, from another persons, and I joined this platform just for this. I want to improve my English skill.
Okay. Well, tell me what's your
You
what's your problem with English?
I have a lot of problem in English. You know, it is not our native language. It is our it's international language, and when I want to improve my English, what should I do? You say some things in here. I hear that.
Well, if you want to learn anything, you need to make a plan to learn that thing. Okay? And the first thing you have to do is understand what are the different parts of this thing that I want to learn. Okay? What are the different parts of it?
Okay, what are the different parts of it? So
I think of 8 different parts.
I think of 8 different.
Okay? Those 8 parts are reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. So
Yeah.
you need a plan for all 8 of those things. How am I going to learn vocabulary? How am I going to learn grammar? How am I going to improve my pronunciation? Okay. And I really try to encourage everyone to understand that you need to be a self-learner. Okay? A self-learner. You can't wait for people to teach you things. Having a teacher is a wonderful thing. But you cannot wait to learn until you have a teacher. Okay? Learning is a process of yeah, you know what? I'm going to mute you for just a minute, Nazira, because there's an echo. But I'll open your mic in just a second after I finish. So, learning is a process, everybody. This process has two parts. One part is self-learning. The other part is having a teacher to guide you. Okay? So, self-learning and having a teacher, and self-learning and having a teacher. A lot of people have a misunderstanding about learning. They think that you cannot learn something unless you have a teacher. No, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. You should start the learning process yourself. You need to start the process yourself. And then when you get a teacher, you ask them the questions that you have, the troubles that you have, the problems that you're having. The teacher can help you to figure out how to get through those problems. The teacher can give you new ways that you didn't think about that might be better for learning that thing, okay? But it's just like eating food. When you're a baby, your mom will feed you. She'll put the food in the spoon and give it to you, right? But then you grow up and you feed yourself, right? You don't need your mom to feed you anymore. That's learning. Learning is, in the beginning, you need your mom to feed you the information. But then you learn by yourself, right? And then teachers are just there to help guide you in a better way, okay? They don't know the answers to everything, teachers. What I tell people is teachers are not gods. Teachers are guides. Okay, they're not gods, they're guides. So, Nazira, if you follow me here on Hello Talk, I have many, many recorded live streams just like this one. I have about 67,000 followers around the world, and they follow me because I have tips about how to learn English, okay? But every person here has a different plan about how they're going to learn English. Because everyone has a different, some people have different strengths and weaknesses, right? And so everybody has to make a plan that's separate and different, personal, their personal plan, okay? So, again, Nazira, reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Those are the 8 areas that you need to have a plan for. Those are the 8 areas you need a plan for, okay? Let's see. Why can't I open the mic now? There we go. So, Nazira, did you hear me?
Yeah, thank you so much. I get the points. Thank you for give me some suggestions. I want to give some IELTS exams for that course. I want to improve my English language, but how can I don't know. But you see some things for my another friends, and I hear that, and I'm so happy. Like you solve my problems. Thank you so much. I'm happy.
You're welcome. I'm glad, Nazira. And just
I'm
remember,
also glad.
learning is like climbing a mountain. It's difficult and it's going to take time, but you can do it.
Yes. I wish I like it so much. I love the English language so much.
Good. Liking it helps.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, Nazira, it was nice to talk to you. And please make sure you follow and come back and see me again, okay?
Inshallah, inshallah, I will come back.
All right.
Inshallah.
Take care, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
I'm happy to meet with you.
Nice to meet
Inshallah,
you too.
another times when I have some problems, I will be meet with you again.
Come back and see me. Okay. Take care.
Inshallah, I will see you.
Okay, let's see. Thank you, Nazira. That was nice. All right, let me make sure I am not missing any important comments. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. Shohan, my routine and Hello Talk. Yes. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do live streams in the morning, usually around 9 or 9:30 a.m. my time, New York City time. Okay? Today I started a bit late because I had lessons this morning. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I usually start in the morning in America, New York City time. Okay? And Tuesday and Thursday, I do voice rooms. I don't have a set time for my Tuesday and Thursday voice rooms because I like to change it up a little bit to get different people from different time zones, right? So sometimes it might be in the early afternoon here. Sometimes it's in the late evening because I want to try to get different people from around the world joining, okay? Thank you for the gifts, everyone. Hello, Lediana. And yes, 67,000. Let's see how many I've got today. I think I haven't quite broken 67,000 yet. Let's see. 66,935 followers. Hello, Carwin. Can I write those 8 things down? Sure. Reading. Writing. Listening. Speaking. Thinking, which is very important, so I'll make it big. Grammar. Pronunciation. And vocabulary. Okay, reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. Yes, Cincinnati is New York City time zone. Okay, take care, Pikes. Ian, yeah, give me a minute. I'll bring you up on the stage. Hold on. Let's see. Hello, Takashi. Konnichiwa. Hello, Raphael. Bom dia. What do? I do what you see me do. I do anything I can do. Asking people what their job is such a weird thing. It really is. You can do anything that you can do. So my job is being me. All right? That's my job. Okay. Guten Tag, Ellie. What do I mean about those 8 things that I wrote? I mean, those are the 8 areas of language that you need to make a plan for if you want to learn a language. Those are the things you need to have a plan for. You need a plan for reading, a plan for writing, a plan for listening, a plan for speaking. Make a plan to learn that thing. Learning is not just about buying a book and having somebody tell you how to do it. No. Think about it. Think about it. How can I learn reading? What can I do to improve my reading? Think about it. Make a plan. What can I do to improve my speaking? Think about it. Make a plan. Okay? "1 inch of time is worth 1 inch of gold." Sure. Yeah. Time is more valuable than money. Always. You want to hear about immersion learning from me, Takashi? Then immersion, the best form of immersion learning that you can do is learning how to think in English all day. It doesn't matter where you live. It matters what language you think in where you live. Understand? Do I remember what you discussed before? Carwin, I'm not sure. I talked to a lot of people. Should the learning plan include holidays? Yeah, it should. It should include breaks. And it should include the concept that the more fun or interesting learning is, the less work it seems. Understand? So learning doesn't always have to be painful, okay? Sometimes it does, okay? Like grammar, it's just painful to learn. But you can find creative ways to learn things that make it more interesting and less painful. Okay? Okay, let's see. Who wants to talk to me now? Let's try talking with Naif. Naif, do you want to come talk to me? And yes, Ruslan, I'm working on monetizing my YouTube channel. That's another thing on my list of things to do. I know. I need to figure out how to make money on my YouTube. My YouTube channel is really, really unorganized right now. But I'm working on it. Okay, well, Naif is not there. Let's see. How about Nang-Lin? All right, well, let me answer a few more questions then. Hello, Enter. Konnichiwa. Make a plan for self-learning. That's right. Anything that you want to learn well should start with a plan of self-learning and then find teachers. And every teacher is going to have a new, different way to show you something that you haven't thought about before. So you shouldn't have just one teacher. You should have as many good teachers as you can find. Okay? Study by yourself. Then find a teacher, study with a teacher. Then take a break, study by yourself. Then find another teacher, study with a teacher. Learn what they have to teach you about something different. Then learn yourself again. The process of learning anything should be a process of self-learning and guided learning. Self-learning and guided learning. Okay? How did I sleep? So. How do I make my coffee? Norman, you know, lots of people are really picky about their coffee. I'm not really. I want it to be strong. I want it to be strong because I pour it over ice, right? So it's going to water it down a lot. But I make iced coffee, so I make strong, dark coffee, and then I pour it over ice, and I usually add almond milk to it, flavored almond milk, you know, like vanilla or whatever. You know, sometimes I like black coffee, but I don't know. I'm not too picky. I drink coffee mostly for the energy boost I need. I'm not a morning guy. I hate morning. Morning hates me, and I hate the morning. So, yeah. Let's see. How can you think in a language? Okay, we'll start with that one, and then I'll get somebody on stage. Any language you learn is like creating a new mind, a new brain. Okay? And that brain, when you start, is a baby. So that brain can only think baby thoughts. So that's why you're confused. Because I say, well, you need to think in English. And you think, oh, I can't because I can't think complicated things. You're right. You can't. So don't. Start by thinking simple things like babies think. Babies think about how they feel. I'm happy. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm sad. Babies think about what they want. I want this. I want that. I want food. I want water. Babies think about what they like and don't like. I like ice cream. I don't like broccoli. I need to go to the bathroom. I don't need whatever. Just simple things. How you feel, what you like and don't like, what you want and don't want, what you need and don't need. Those are very simple things that all of you can do right now, but you don't do it. You use your native language to answer all those questions in your mind. Stop. Starting tomorrow, anytime you're hungry, think I'm hungry in English. Anytime you're tired, think I'm tired in English. That's how you start thinking in English. Start with baby thoughts. And then when you're a little kid, not a baby, but you're, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, those kids ask a lot of questions. What's that? What's that? Why? How? When? Where? So that's what you should do. You should go anywhere you go. And in your mind, I want you to think who, what, when, where, why, how. Any kind of question you can think of. Okay, go to the grocery store. Who is at the grocery store? Oh, I see my friend. I see my neighbor. I see the boss. I see the workers. What does a grocery store have? They have milk and cheese and bread and fish. When is the grocery store open? When does it close? Where is the grocery store? Can you give directions there? Do you know the address? Why do people go to grocery stores? So everywhere you go, if you go to the park, who, what, when, where, why, how? If you go to work, who, what, when, where, why, how? If you go to school, who, what, when, where, why, how? Who, what, when, where, why, how? Everywhere you go. Those are adolescent thoughts, adolescent questions. Answer them in English, in your mind, as much as you can. And baby thoughts, right? So step 1, baby thoughts. Step 2, adolescent questions. Step 3, topics. Adult topics about your life. Can you think about your family in English completely? Can you think about your hobbies in English completely? Can you think about your friends in English completely? Can you think about your work, your goals, your dreams, your interests? Simple topics. Simple topics of any kind of topic that you can think of. That's step 3. Step 4 is advanced topics. Can you think about religion, philosophy, and politics, and economy, and the economics? Those are difficult topics. Okay, so step 1, baby thoughts. Step 2, adolescent questions. Step 3, adult topics. Step 4, advanced adult topics. So there's how you think in English. Okay? All right. I have many questions here, but I want to get some more people on stage. So you guys have to be patient, okay? You have to be patient. ZH says, please slowly, too fast. ZH, 有时候我说快一点，可是我也有时候 说慢一点 ，OK？ 所以我觉得你需要听我，每天听我，看我，试试 ，OK？ 试试看，你可以加油 ，All right？ Okay, let's try talking to Karwan again. He'll remind me of what we spoke about before. Hello, Karwan.
Okay, hello everyone. Hello guys.
How are you, my friend?
Thanks. Okay, thanks to accept me. And I have a question.
Okay, then I have an answer.
Okay, I have a friend here, and I discuss with her about something.
Okay.
Okay, can you tell me, for learning a language, you must learn so many words, or you must use that words to the sentence? I mean, maybe my friend know a lot of words, but she can't use that word to the sentence.
Yeah.
But for me, it is opposite. I mean, I don't know about a lot of words, but I can use that word to the sentence.
Yeah.
Can you tell me?
Sure. Yeah. Simple language spoken well is always better than complicated language spoken poorly.
Okay.
Let me say that again for everybody. Simple language spoken well is always better than complicated language spoken poorly. Okay? So if you know a bunch of big words, but you don't know how to use them properly, then no, that's not good. Simple language spoken well can be used brilliantly to say many great things. Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, then maybe you don't really understand. Okay? So yes, simple language is always better. I don't use many big words when I'm here. Almost never. Is it because I don't know them? No, of course not. I'm an English teacher. I have a pretty big vocabulary. But language, oh no, Carwin, what happened? We lost Carwin. So the point is that language is not to impress people. Language is not a competition. Language is for communication and expression. And 99% of the time, saying something simply is the best way. Language should be filtered down to its simplest form in almost every situation. People who use big words just because they know them, you know, even college professors, honestly, sometimes I think college professors, they think they have to use big language all the time, big words all the time. And I think they genuinely have forgotten that the purpose is supposed to be to transmit knowledge. To transmit knowledge. And if you use a word that somebody doesn't understand, then you're not transmitting knowledge. Well, Eddie, that's because he doesn't know any big words. There's a big difference, Eddie. There's a big difference. Some people only use simple language because simple language is all they know. I know lots of big words. I don't use them because I don't see a need to in most cases, okay? This is a lesson that I learned from being a musician, okay? In music, when you're a musician, okay, you play what's appropriate for the song. You don't just play something because you know it, right? So I might know I'm a drummer. I might know a very, very difficult thing that I could play. But do I just put that into the song just because I know it? No. You listen to the conversation that's happening musically, and you make statements that fit the conversation. Okay? So I can play jazz music, which is a much more complicated music usually. Okay? But when I play a rock and roll song, am I playing jazz things in the rock song? No. It doesn't fit. And you know what people think when you do that? They just think you're trying to show off. They think you're just trying to show off. Language is about communication. It's not a competition. It's not a competition. Okay? Am I trying to show off? No. No. Why do you think I'm trying to show off? I'm not doing anything unimpressive. I'm just talking. Okay, how can you not forget vocabulary words that you've learned? Angela, don't memorize them. That's how you're forgetting them because you're memorizing them, and memorizing is the worst way to learn. I haven't said this in a while, so I'll say it now. Hold on a minute, everyone. Memorizing is the worst way to learn. Memorizing is the worst way to learn. Why? Very simply, because it's boring. And your brain doesn't like boring. So you remember it for a week or two, and then you forget it. Because it's boring. The same thing is true. If you walk down the street and you see a guy dressed in boring, normal clothes, you're not going to remember that random guy. You saw somebody who looks normal and boring, so you don't remember them. But if you see somebody dressed in a pink shirt and a purple hat with a big elephant on top, you're going to remember that guy. Because it's not boring. So use that. Understand how your brain works and use that. Don't force your brain to do boring things. It doesn't like it. Okay? Do interesting things. Make it creative. Any learning that involves creativity is better than just what we call rote memorization, which means just doing something 1,000 times and hoping you remember. That's all memorizing is. Memorizing is you wrote the word 10 times and you look at your brain and you say, please, brain, don't forget. Please don't forget, brain. And you didn't give it anything creative to remember. So it's going to forget. Okay? And Breakdown Alge 9, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find a 5-minute video that tells you all the steps to how to think in English, okay? There's 4 steps to how to think in English. There's a 5-minute video on my YouTube channel that will tell you how, okay? All right, let's see. I'm going to answer a couple more questions. Why is my English so good? 1, because I'm an English teacher. It's my job. Okay? I've been doing this for a long time. I've been teaching English since about 2009. I've been teaching since 1994. So, I've been teaching for a long time. That's number 1. Number 2, I try to speak as clearly as I possibly can. I move my mouth a lot more than you do. I open my mouth and I enunciate, which means to overpronounce every movement in your words to make them as clear as possible. And number 3, I use this lovely, lovely microphone. I have the best equipment you can get. So it sounds really good. Okay? Angela, you're going to have to wait a minute. How do you get paid from Hello Talk? You don't. Mustafa, this is not a place to make money. This is a place for learning language. Okay? Salma says, I understand you, but I can't talk as much. Salma, you have to practice thinking in English more. The more comfortable you get with thinking in English, the easier it will be to speak English. Okay? Xiao Xiao says, 听不懂啊,老师. No. Well, Xiao Xiao, 加油,试试看,熟能生巧. 听我. How to pronounce the TH right after D, TD, and S? Give me an example of a word like that. Gus? Can I explain something easier? Emmy, why don't you ask me an easy question that you have and I'll explain it. Hello, Quavo. Good to see you. Can you use this app in a PC? Only if you want to do live streaming. No, you can't really use it. It has a PC version, but it's very limited. Okay? Can I give you the link for what? My YouTube channel? It's right here. Can you learn another language besides English? Of course you can. Why can't you? Learner, I didn't see your question. You want to speak to me. That's not a question. Learner, write your question and I'll answer it. You mean 我是美国人，我住在美国，在中部，就是俄亥俄州，你知道吗？ Ranja says, sometimes I wish I would have studied teaching a language instead of math and biology, but then I see the corrections of exams in English or German. Yeah, correcting the tests is terribly boring. Okay, Mustafa says it's very difficult to pronounce TH after Z, but I can't think of one word where you have to say TH right after the Z. Give me a word and I'll show you how. Llama wants a book that gives examples with situations about grammar. The grammar book that I suggest is called Basic English Grammar by Saddleback Publishing. Okay, slow down, everybody. I'm trying to answer questions as quickly as I can. What's my name? Look at the screen, Arco. What does it say right there on the screen? It says my name. He suffered the loss of those things. But that's not, those don't happen right after. There are vowels in between. He suffered the loss of those things. Move your mouth more and you'll get it. Good to see you too, Manoak. In IELTS speaking, is it needed to always use rich vocabulary? Okay, in IELTS, sure, it's better if you can use a few big words, but still, Nish, the rule of language is Don't just use a word just because you know it. That does not look impressive. That looks like you're trying to use a word that you're trying to use to make yourself look smart. That's not how language works. What they want to see in the IELTS is they want to see that you are comfortable using the language to express yourself freely. So it's still, even in the IELTS exam, I still think it's better to speak simply well, instead of trying to speak with a complicated word or use complicated vocabulary poorly. Okay? I told you, you can use this app in the PC, but it's very, very limited. Okay? You can't do live streams, or you can't watch the live streams in PC. Every language has a certain tone of the way they speak. Does English have a certain tone or rhythm? It does, although it's not a standardized rhythm. Every person has a slightly different rhythm to the way they speak. But Hater, what I would tell you is that English, the words in English are often more connected than in some other languages. So if you want to learn how to speak English well, think about it more like singing, where the words flow and they're connected together. All right? Some people, when they speak English, they speak like this, with every word separated. That's not good. You should try to pull the words and connect them together more like music. Can I give you some tips on how to sound more like more native as a local American? Well, Shirley, not every native sounds good. Just because you were born in a country that speaks English doesn't mean you're an English genius. Okay? So, my suggestion, Shirley, is find someone on YouTube or TED Talks or wherever, on TV or movies, find someone who speaks well, the way you want to speak, and shadow them, follow them. Ni hao. Do I play guitar? No, I play piano and drums. Was that? Okay, that's an S, but you're right, it's a Z sound. Was that? That. You can do it, Mustafa. It just takes practice. Open your mouth more. "你可以教我中文吗?我可以教我中文." What do I think when somebody says, "Yo, man"? I think, are you 12? Yo, man, or hey, bro, those are not ways that adults speak to each other. Those are not ways that mature people speak to each other. Okay? If you meet a new person, don't say bro. Don't say yo, man. After you get to be comfortable with them in some time and you become friends with them, then yeah, maybe. But don't start off with, yo, 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 man. Hey, what's up, dude? No. No, okay? No. No, not Cleveland. I live in Cincinnati. Cincinnati. 你去洗，你去洗，你去洗。 Wichita, Wichita, Wichita. I suffered the loss of those things. I suffered the loss of those things. You can do it. For pronunciation, which book is better? Pronunciation is not something I think you should learn from a book. Do I recommend the Oxford Grammar book? I'm not completely familiar with that one, so I can't recommend it. What am I doing now? 现在我教他们英文. What if British accent meets American songs? It happens a lot. It happens a lot. British bands sing American songs often. Okay, Daja, everybody, please listen. There are 167 people here. Everybody has a question. I am trying to keep up, but there are 90 comments that I haven't read yet. So you have to be patient and wait for me to answer the questions, okay? I can't answer everybody's question all at the same time. So don't write your question 10 times. I promise I saw it one time. I will answer it, but you have to be patient, okay? How many people are here? 172. Okay? Have you ever tried to answer people's questions? You know, if there's 172 people? I don't think you have. Hello, happy Friday. How can you support your words? I don't know what you mean, Sloma. Yaroslav says, unfortunately, I don't have enough fantasy for memorizing words. I mean, creating association for... Okay, so, Yaroslav, here's what I'll tell you. I can live with memorizing words or using memorizing as a method of learning, but only if it's step one to a grander process, a bigger process of learning. Okay, if you use memorizing as step one and you have 4 other steps that you're going to go through, fine. Then memorizing is okay. But that's not what most people do. Most people, they just use memorizing and that's it. But I don't believe you when you say you don't have enough fantasy and not enough imagination. You do. You just don't understand that imagination is just like anything else. It has to be practiced and developed. So if you want to develop your speaking, you also have to develop your imagination. Okay, imagination is something that's a skill. Okay? And again, guys, I've said, was that. I said it many times. Please be patient, Mustafa. You're not the only person here. Is there any specific rules for stressing the words? There is not. There are not any specific rules for stressing words. Different words have different stress on them. And as a matter of fact, some words have more than one stress possibility, like the word record and record, or the word combat and combat. One is a verb and one is a noun, depending on which stress you put on the word. How can you go live on YouTube? Just, you mean how can you do a live stream? I can't teach you that. But if you want to join my YouTube, go to my YouTube channel. Okay, I'm here to answer questions about English, not about how to stream. Do I have any plan of coming to China again someday? Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully. I look like Robin Williams? I'll take that. I like Robin Williams. He's one of my idols. Shadowing is too tiring? Well, Lonely Gun. Learning is difficult. That's why we respect people who have learned a lot. Climbing a mountain is difficult. That's why we respect people who have climbed the mountain. Learning is supposed to be hard, man. Okay? Happy Friday can play piano and has a band. Good for you. That's great. I try to be patient, Llama, but sometimes it's difficult. Thank you, Cam. What is my advice for someone who is in B2 level and who wants to make their language better? You have to challenge yourself more, Maharan. So if you always stay at the same level and you're not pushing yourself to do something more difficult, then you're never going to get to the more difficult level. So you have to read things that are more difficult. You have to listen to things that are more difficult. You have to learn vocabulary words that are more difficult. Okay? Did I get the job? I haven't applied yet. I actually just finished all of my application stuff today. I'm going to try to apply today. What do I do in my free time? I like to go fishing. I like to go hiking. I like to do gardening. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Can you pronounce was that like was dat? You can. People will know what you're saying, but it's not correct. Okay? And Angela says, I heard some natives say, what's that instead of what's that? Right, because again, not every person in the world speaks well. Okay? So learning to speak well is like learning a musical instrument. Okay? So when you learn to play the piano, they don't tell you, hey, you should go listen to everybody in the world who plays piano. No, they don't. They tell you, you should listen to the best people who play piano and use them as your model. Okay? So don't listen to just some fool. Listen to somebody who's good. Okay? What should you say instead of yo, yo, yo? You should say, hi, nice to meet you. My name is blah, blah, blah. It's a pleasure to meet you. Be an adult. It's underrated. Hello, my friend. Nice to meet you. Is slang rude sometimes? Yes, it is. I speak English and I speak Chinese, and I know a little bit of many other words. Do I find it strange when I hear someone speaking and using words with an American accent and words with a British accent in the same conversation? I don't find it strange because I've heard it many times. And so it doesn't really bother me. There are many people in China in particular who they seem to have half English, or I'm sorry, half British, half American accent. Guten Tag, Gunter. You just fixed Los smartphone, your smartphone. I'm good. How are you? Wie geht's? Did I learn about the basics of psychology? Nada? Yeah. But that's because my father is a psychologist. Hello, mate. Hello, governor. How many accents are in there, U.S.? Many. I don't know. I don't know an exact number, but at least 10. Is simp a common word? No. And it's kind of an annoying word if you ask me. It tells me that you're young and immature when people use that word. Okay, geez, guys, it is impossible for me to keep up. Can I speak Vietnamese? I can say Xin Chào. Again, Hep, I can speak, Elena, I can speak Chinese, and I can speak English. What's the difference between I like to go run and I like to go running? Nothing. No difference. Please don't write your question many, many times. Just be patient. Is shadowing a perfect way to be good? No, there is no perfect way to learn anything. That's why you need many, many ways. Okay? And it depends on who you shadow. Do I know about India? Some, sure. I've studied a little bit of Indian music. I have a tabla drum back behind me there. I can say takadimi, takadimi, takada, taka, taka. Taka, taka, ta. Takadimi, ta. That's right. Develop your muscle memory until you're comfortable using the language. Here's my YouTube channel right there. Okay, let's talk to somebody. Let's talk to Amir Cheyenne has been waiting a long time. Let's talk to him. Amir Cheyenne, are you still there? Hello, Amir Cheyenne. Salam. Can you hear me, Amir? Amir, I can't hear you. Is your microphone on? And Ruslan, no, I did mean transmit. To transmit knowledge. Transmit means to send across something. So teaching is transmitting knowledge. I have knowledge. I want to transmit that knowledge to others. Transit is a similar word. Both use the root word trans, which means to go across something. But to transit just means to go across. To transmit means to send something across. Amir Cheyenne, I cannot hear you. I don't know why I cannot hear you. Maybe, no, I still can't hear you. Can you guys hear him? Can anybody else hear Amir? No? Yeah, something weird is happening, Amir. No, still not now. Amir, you might need to go into your settings in your phone and give your HelloTalk app permission to use your microphone. That might be the problem. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to take you off the stage. You try to do that, and then I'll bring you back up, okay? Because I think that's the problem. I'll give you one more minute, Amir. Okay, Amir, I'm going to take you off the stage, but try to see if you can give HelloTalk permission to use the microphone and raise your hand again. I'll bring you back up, okay? And let me try to get somebody else while I can here. Let's see. How about ya. Ya, do you want to come talk to me? Uh-oh, Ya got scared. All right, let's see. Osama wanted to talk to me. He's been waiting a little while. Osama, you want to come talk to me? Hello, Osama? No. Okay, let's see. Who else can I choose? Let's talk to Christina. Is that the same Christina I know? Hello, Christina.
Hello.
There she is again. Hello. Good to see you again. How are you?
Good to see you too. I'm doing great today. And
Good.
What about you?
I'm doing pretty well, but sometimes it's really hard because people just, it's 174 people all messaging me questions at the same time. And they think that I'm ignoring them, but I'm not ignoring them. I just need time to answer questions. It's hard.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Because you are very popular. It's
I guess
normal.
so. Yeah. Yeah. But people just have no patience. So, Amir Cheyenne, I see you back there. Just give me 1 minute to talk to Christina, and then I'll bring you up, okay? So, Christina, what can I do for you today?
What? I didn't hear you.
What can I do for you today?
Well, I just wanted to practice a little.
Okay. Let's practice. So,
Next week I have my job interview in English
okay.
for the first time.
Okay. All right. Well, then let me give you some tips about that.
Okay, thank you.
Job interviews are all about one thing, and it doesn't matter what language. It all matters about confidence. Confidence is key in any job interview. What is a job interview? It's somebody on there's a table and there's two people, and one person, they need help. And the other person, you have to show them, I can help you. If you look like you're a problem, they're not going to hire you. If you look like you confidently can help them, they will. Now, you shouldn't be arrogant, but you should be confident. Okay? So it's just about presenting yourself as someone who, I can do that job. What do you need me to do? Oh, well, I can do that. I can definitely help you with that. And show them that you want to do it. Okay? Passion is underrated. So few people demonstrate passion, especially in work, because most people don't do work that they're passionate about. They just do it for the money. And I understand that, but I don't have trouble getting a job being a teacher. And it's for one simple reason. They see I'm passionate. I'm not doing it for the money. I do it because it's what I do. Right? So if you can demonstrate some level of passion about this thing, then that's great. Okay. Another good thing is, what company is it? Is it a big company or small company or what?
Yes, it's a big international IT company.
Okay, so
EPAM
what
company.
you should
EPAM
do?
Technologies.
You should do a little research about the company. Know some facts about them, about their statistics. How many people do they have in the company? What countries are they located in? How much have they grown recently? Who started the company? Who's the CEO? Any kind of like key information about the company that shows them that you cared enough to do a little research.
Okay.
Okay, that's a huge thing. If you just show them that you went one extra step more than the other person did, that's another way to get the job. Okay? Be confident. And body language is also important too, everybody. If you go into the job interview and you kind of sit like this, you're not going to get that job, but if you sit up straight, that's right. Yeah. As a matter of fact, how did I learn how to sit properly? When I was in grade school, we were in choir, right? Singing class, right? And my teacher, she taught us that when you sit on a chair for singing, you don't sit on the whole back of the chair. You put your butt on the very edge of the chair. And if you do that, it forces you to sit up straight. Okay? So just knowing that is really important because it presents yourself in a completely different way. Okay? Shoulders back just a little bit, chest straight, not slumped over. Okay? And when you present yourself this way, it looks more confident. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You just have to remember, what do I look like? Do I look like somebody I would hire?
Yes.
And you have a great smile. Smile.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's technical interview. I don't know if it could help me my smile.
Well, of course, there are certain times when you shouldn't, but when you're introducing yourself to them, smile. When you're leaving, smile. If they ask you some personal questions in some way, shape, or form, smile. But yeah, if it's a technical interview, then that's when you get a little bit more serious, right? Like I smile often, but I also do sometimes speak more seriously, and more passionately and more directly. Some people, like one guy earlier today said, he sounds like he's angry. I'm not angry. No, I'm just passionate. There are times when I tell you something and I'm kind of yelling at you because you need to hear it that way. It's just conveying my energy. Yeah, that you have to convey the right energy for the right question. All right? But
Yes,
confidence,
I agree
confidence,
with you.
confidence. It's all about confidence. Okay?
Okay, I
But
will.
I think you'll
I
do
will
fine.
practice with Miro. Mirror.
That's good too. Yeah, I'm applying for a new job too, and I don't know if I'll get an interview. I'm going to send them my information later today. Actually, it's for a language services company, and I'm hoping I can get that job. But again, I am pretty confident. I'm pretty confident. I'll tell you a story. I've told this before on my streams before. When I was 19 years old, I was teaching music, teaching drums at the local music store. Okay, and one of my students went to the local high school, one of the local high schools, and he said, "Hey, Teacher Mark, we don't have a drum teacher at our high school, but many of the high schools they did. They had a special teacher for drums at the school, right?" So I said, that seems like an opportunity. So later that week, I went to that high school. I walked in the door. I went into the band room. I walked into the office and I said, "Hey, my name is Mark. I teach drums at the local music store down the street. One of my students goes to your school here, Rory. And he said, you guys don't have a drum teacher." And the guy said, "Yeah, that's right. We don't." I said, "Well, I'd like to do that job." He said, "Well, we're not hiring." I said, "Well, but you should be." I told him, I said, "Here's the thing. I've never done this job before. I have never done this job before. I don't have any experience doing this job, but I think I can." So what I told him was this: let me do the job for 6 months. And if at the end of 6 months you don't like it and you don't think I was successful, fine. I walk away. We say nothing. But if I am, you have to pay me.
Yes, sure.
And I did. And I worked there for 3 years after that. So,
Wow.
again, it's about confidence. I just walked in and said, I can do this. And I'm willing to put myself on the line to say, let me do it for 6 months. Let me just show you I can do it. And then if it doesn't work, you didn't pay me anything. There's no loss. And for me, it was good anyway, because if it didn't work out, it was still good experience for me. Right? But it did work out, so I was good. Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
Confidence.
Thank you very much.
Confidence is key.
Confidence.
Yeah, it's all about that, Christina. But you'll do fine. You got a great smile. Use your smile. Answer your questions with the knowledge you have, and you'll be fine. Okay?
Yes. Thank you very much.
You're
and
welcome,
I wish
Christina.
you a lot of luck also.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm hoping that I can get this new job because it would be like another step up in the chain of corporate language learning, corporate language teaching is something I've been thinking about wanting to get into, and I found a company that does it, and I think I'm perfect for the job. I just need to prove it to them.
Yes, I'm sure that you do.
Well, I hope so. Thank you for that. So I'm going to let you go, Christina, and see if I can get Amir Cheyenne back on the stage here. But thank you for coming, and come back and see me again, okay? Good luck on your interview.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Good luck to
Goodbye.
you also. Goodbye.
Okay, Amir, are you still there? There he is. Let's get Amir back here. Hopefully he can speak and we can hear him again. Amir, hello, Amir. Earth to Amir. Come in, Amir. I can see you. That's a step in the right direction.
Do you have my voice?
I do. Yay! All right, I can hear you. Wonderful.
Thank God.
Yes, indeed.
Thank God. First of all,
Go ahead.
okay, I think there's a delay in the voice.
There
but,
is.
yeah. First of all, I want to thank you for your insights and tips. They're golden, you know. Thank you for sharing your ideas with us.
You're welcome.
It's precious. I really is yeah. And
Oh no. Now we've lost the signal. Amir, what happened? I think it's your connection, Amir. Amir Cheyenne, hello. We lost your picture and voice now. Amir, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, his connection is weak. I'll wait another minute and see if he comes back. Let me answer a couple questions. I look more like a young Jack Nicholson. All right, I'll take that too. He's back. He's back.
oh, sorry, I didn't notice I was talking,
That's okay.
and
That's
I
okay.
realized
Amir.
that you're frozen.
We lost
I'm
you
so
for a minute.
sorry for
That's okay.
uh,
That's
yeah.
okay.
So I'm gonna ask my question again,
Go
if it's
ahead.
okay.
Uh-huh.
I need an advice from you. I want to start this Instagram page related to teaching English, and I'm so confused. I don't know where should I start. If I should just focus on vocabulary, grammar, conversation, pronunciation. I don't know.
Well, that's a complicated question to answer. I think sometimes when people say, I don't know where to start, the best answer is just start. It doesn't matter. Just start. Sometimes we think too much about, should I do this first or should I do that first? And then you start thinking too
Exactly.
much and you don't just start. So just start. Just pick something and just do it, right? Now, which one should you do? Well, technically you should do all of them, right? Because there's every aspect of language needs to be addressed in some way. And you should sit down, if you haven't already, and try to kind of come up with what does your battle plan look like? You know, like how do you attack language, right? So if somebody asks you a question, how can I improve my speaking? What do you tell them? You know, what advice do you give? What tips do you have? What resources can you give them? You know, you need to really sit down and think about. You know what? That's the thing about being a teacher. I always ask my students, who learns more? Who learns more, the teacher or the student? What do you think?
I think the teacher.
You're right. Do you know why?
In some ways, yeah.
The reason why is because when you're a teacher, if you're a student, you have one mind and you can ask only the questions you can think of. But when you're a teacher, you have 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 students, and they are all asking you questions that you have to come up with the answer for. So you end up coming up with a lot more answers than most people do, right? So when you ask me questions, almost everybody here, every question you've asked me, I've answered before. Because I've got a lot of people who ask me questions constantly, and I have to think about them. Now, I don't always have the answer. Sometimes I have to tell my student, you know what? I don't know, but I'll come back tomorrow and I'll tell you. It's okay sometimes to tell a student you don't know, because you're not a god, you're a guide. Okay? You know, that's why I say teachers are not gods. Yeah. They're just guides. They don't know everything. They just know more than you do, and they can help you along the way. Okay? So, you need to sit down and think about your battle plan. Sit down and think about what are you going to tell students when they ask you this question about this thing, and sketch it out. Make sure you know what to say. Again, I know the answers to the questions I need to tell you because I've said them many times and I've thought about them at great length for many, many, many years. So yeah, that's what you need to do is, the best advice I can give you is just start, especially on social media, because the secret of social media is consistency. One. So make a schedule. I'm going to make this many posts per week. I'm going to make this many whatever and stick to it, right? I do live streams Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I do voice streams Tuesday and Thursday, and I'm pretty consistent about that. Okay, sure, maybe there's one day when I'm sick or I'm busy and I can't, but I try to be there every day I say I'm going to be there. If you're a teacher, you have to be responsible. You're responsible to be there when they need you to be there, right? And so if you're posting, then you need to make sure that you have consistent posts. And that's tricky because it means you have to have a lot of material ready to go. Otherwise you have to make new material every time, and that means you have to think about, what am I going to say today? No, make sure you have a bunch prepared. Something that's ready to go, and then this week you can say this one. And so you're never at a loss for something to post, okay? And sure, you can post about vocabulary, you can post about grammar, you can post about pronunciation, speaking, writing, listening, reading, any and all of those things. The more you can come up with, the better, okay?
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And in terms of posting, if you, I wonder if I have to focus on specific learners, like elementary, beginner, or upper intermediate. And, sometimes you come up with these interesting ideas, like comparing the meaning of two words, or just an interesting idiom that you want to share. Isn't it weird to just share random stuff, or should I have a mind map, start from the most important stuff, the most useful things, for example, that use in conversations, and build
I
up?
think it's okay to have some random stuff every once in a while. It breaks up the monotony, so it keeps things interesting. And but what I would do is I would tell people, Amir Shayan's random thought of the day, and this is just what, just say, this is what I'm going to do, and just say something random. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with adding a little bit of, what should I call it? Randomness, just something just off the cuff, which means improvised, just throw something out there. Okay. But somebody said quality, consistency, and quantity. And I agree with that. The quality of your post is important. The consistency of your post is important. Quantity, I think sometimes quantity is too much. Like, I used to do so many posts on Hello Talk all the time. And I think that sometimes I annoyed people with too many posts. They would actually mute my channel because I think they were getting 10 messages per day, notifications per day from me, and they were like, that's too much. So I think really quantity or I should say quality and consistency are more important than quantity, okay? A lot of BS is still just BS. Okay? So focus on quality things and consistent things, and quantity will come with time. Quantity will come with time. That's why I said you should start as soon as possible, right? Because experience is one of the most important things, okay? But you can't get that until you start. So if you say, well, I've been teaching for 1 year, okay, that's great. Then you've been doing it for 1 year. Then the next year you can say I've been doing it for 2 years. And it's like a badge of honor each time, right? So I started teaching when I was 18 and I'm 48. So now I can say I've had 30 some years of teaching, and again, that's why when people ask me, what do you do? I say, I do whatever I can do. This is not my job. It's who I am. You know, it becomes part of who you are, especially if you're doing it because you love it, not because of money. Okay? So just get started, my friend.
Exactly.
Just get
Good.
started. All right? Last piece of advice
Thank you
I'll
so
tell you,
much.
Amir, is just find your audience. Find your audience. So specifically, you're in Iran. I would focus on Iranian people. For one, I have a lot of Iranian followers, okay? And I'm always shocked by how good their English is. It's amazing to me how many people in Iran have amazing English. And it tells me that there's a great, great community of people who want to learn English there. So that I think there's a great market there for you to try to focus on the Iranian market.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I've reached my daily limit.
Okay.
And thank you so much for your tips and useful insights.
You're
You're a
welcome.
star,
Thank you.
Teacher Mark.
And by the way, if you guys don't know, I always do these. These are also on YouTube at the same time. So you can also go to my YouTube channel. There's no time limit there. So if you have YouTube. So yeah. And here's my YouTube channel, everybody. There it is right there. So it was nice to talk to you, Amir Cheyenne. And once again, another Iranian with excellent English. So good luck to you on your Instagram channel. And yeah, keep in touch. Come back and see me again, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, my friend. All right. Let me answer a few questions. Please be patient. Asadbek Alamov says, when I watch videos on YouTube or podcasts, I listen and I understand, but I don't speak completely. What advice do I give you? Well, Asadbek, listening always comes before speaking. Babies have to listen before they can speak, right? That's how language happens. So, if you want to speak more, you must listen more. Okay? So, one, listen twice as much as you speak. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Because you're supposed to listen twice as much as you speak. Okay? And 2, don't just listen to anyone on YouTube or any podcast. Find someone who speaks really well, the way you want to speak. Okay? Convey in conveyor is similar, right? A conveyor belt is a thing that moves things, right? But to convey means to, like transmit. Transmit and convey are synonyms. They means to, let me think about my words carefully. Communicate information, to convey something, to transmit, similar. Yeah, conveying thoughts, not conveyoring, conveying. Okay, Ishak, I see your question. I know, but man, just please remember there's 146 people here, okay? So, first of all, Ishak, my name is Mark, not Michael. It's Teacher Mark, okay? And Ishak, I think you're new, so I will tell you I have about 67,000 followers. They follow me because I have a lot of great tips. So here's my tip for you, Ishak. Go to my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, I have one video. There are many, 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 many videos, but there's one video called Teacher Mark's Essential English Tips, Part 1. Watch that. Teacher Mark's Essential English Tips, Part 1. Watch that, and it has most of my best tips about learning English. Okay? All right. So many comments. So many comments. Wen Ming says, I want to learn English grammar as fast as possible. Is there some way or some resources that you can use? Wen Ming, no, not really. The secret of learning grammar in any language is excessive repetition. So get a good grammar workbook. Okay, a good grammar study book and a good grammar workbook. with exercises for you to practice, okay? Then you need to make a copy of that book 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And you need to go through that book 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times. When you go through that book 3 times, 4 times, or 5 times, you will know English grammar well. Okay? I'm glad you like my pronunciation. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Tanvi wants to come up. Okay, I think I'm just about caught up. Mansoor says, I can listen very good. I can understand everything, but I can't speak. What should I do? And you don't have somebody to practice with. You don't need someone to practice with. What you need, Mansoor, is to learn how to think in English every day. You're thinking in Arabic every day. And every moment that you think in Arabic is a moment you're missing an opportunity to practice thinking in English. Language starts in your mind. You have to start learning how to think in the language you want to speak. This is a practice room. Your mind is a practice room. Practice there with your language as much as you can. And then when you speak, it will be easy because you already practiced a lot up here. Okay? Yes, excessive repetition. Why do you need excessive repetition? Because you can't get grammar the way a native learns grammar. Natives in any language, they do learn grammar in books and in school, but most of where they learn grammar comes from their environment. That means your parents and your brothers and sisters and your aunts and uncles and your teachers, they correct you. But you won't have that opportunity, so you need to replace that amount of correction by doing repetitive exercises in grammar, okay? So get a grammar worksheet about a and an, and copy it 5 times and do it 5 times. The first time will be hard. The second time will be a little bit easier. The third time should be pretty easy. The 4th time and the 5th time will be a piece of cake. And then you know it, okay? What can you say? Well, bijidao. That's right. Language starts in the mind. Okay. Who do I want to talk to? Let's see. Tanvi wants to talk to me from Bangladesh. And again, please be patient. I'm trying to get to as many people as I can, but it's hard to answer all these questions, everybody. Hello, Tanvahul. Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. You're in Bangladesh?
Yeah, I'm from Bangladesh.
What city in Bangladesh?
I'm from Chattogram.
Chattogram,
It's
okay.
a commercial city,
Okay.
commercial capital of Bangladesh.
Okay, wonderful. What can I do for you today?
Okay, I have some question about learning English.
Okay, go ahead.
So my first question is, I have learning English for about 1 or 2 years. So, but when it comes to talk, my words are not getting running in my head. I don't know actually how to think English perfectly. Okay, yeah, I know a lot of things, but I don't know like how to go the next level. Okay, right now I'm in a level. Okay, so I'm just stuck in my certain level.
Okay, that's
My
called
question is, how can I develop?
that's called plateauing. Plateauing, okay? I'm going to mute you for just a minute while I answer the question, okay? Just to make it more clear for everybody. So, a plateau, everybody, is a flat area of land. It's called a plateau. But we also use that word when we're talking about learning, because when you learn, in the beginning when you learn with big steps. But then you reach a point where you feel like you're just like this and you're not getting anywhere. That's called plateauing, okay? And the reason why we plateau is because you keep approaching learning from the same place. So it's kind of like if you go outside and you paint a mountain you see, and you paint that mountain every day from the same place, you'll become very good at painting that mountain from that place, but you won't feel like you're learning how to paint anything else. So what do? You have to pick up your paints and go down the road and look at the mountain from a different direction. This is learning. You have to approach learning from different angles, not the same angle every time, okay? So you have to find a new way to look at your learning. If you've been focused on grammar, okay, fine, then maybe leave grammar alone for a little while and focus on building your vocabulary. If you've been focusing on your vocabulary, maybe leave vocabulary alone for a little while, focus on your pronunciation. Focus on your reading, your writing, your listening, whatever. Get new books, get different books, listen to different people who have different ideas about what you should do, okay? Learning is something that you have to approach from every angle, okay? So some people, when they think about learning, it's like they're trying to just climb the mountain and they want to take one path up the mountain. And that does get you to the top of the mountain, but it doesn't mean you know that mountain well. It means you know how to get to the top of the mountain one way. But if you learn how to get up that mountain every way, from every angle, then you really know that mountain. This is learning. So you have to look at whatever you're trying to learn. I don't care what it is. You have to find a new way to look at that way. Look at that thing. Okay? Learning is about looking at the mountain and thinking, how many different paths can I say? How many different paths up the mountain can I find? Right? So for example, I'm a musician. I play drums, right? And I learned how to play rock and roll music for many years. And I got very good at playing rock and roll music. But then I said, okay, well, now let me try jazz music. And then let me try Indian music. And then let me try classical music. They're all different. They're completely different. And now you have to start at the bottom of the mountain again. Okay? If you do that, you will break your plateau. You will advance. Okay? But you cannot keep looking at learning the same way every time. Okay? Understand?
I understand your. Yeah, you said I have to try from different angles.
Yeah.
I have to try from angles.
Yeah, you've been approaching it.
So-
You keep doing it the same way every time, and that's why it feels like you're not getting anywhere. Find a new way.
Yeah, and another question is like, is there any specific things that I can do for going from a level from another level?
Yes. Work on your weaknesses. Work on your weaknesses. This is another big problem that every student has. Students always want to work on their strengths, the things that they're already good at, because it makes you feel good. When you learn and it's easy, you're like, oh, look at me, I'm so good. But if you really want to get better at something, you cannot work on the things you're already good at. You have to work on the things that you're not good at. And that's difficult. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. But that's how learning is supposed to be. Learning is not always supposed to be easy. Again, that's why we call it plateauing. Plateauing is just walking on a flat area. That's easy. Anybody can walk on a flat area. Climbing a mountain is difficult, right? So focus on your weaknesses, not on your strengths. So whatever your weakness is, you need to make a plan for how can I approach that weakness a new way, okay?
Yeah, actually, that was so helpful for me. Thank you for your suggestion. I love that. I love that.
I'm glad.
So yeah, that's it. That's
Okay.
it. Thank you
You're welcome, my
giving
friend.
your time to me.
Thank you very much. It was
Okay.
nice to meet you all. Talk to you next time.
Thank you very
okay?
much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a
Take
good day.
care. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's see. Did I miss anything here? You're welcome. Yeah, 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 yeah. Where did it go? Oh, Raymond Murphy. Yeah, Raymond Murphy books. Yeah, the Raymond Murphy books are okay. Essential Grammar in Use, yeah. But Christina, to be honest, I have all of the Essential Grammar in Use books. And I have the English Grammar in Use books also. And those are two of the most popular series, but I don't really like them. They're very comprehensive, which means they have all the answers in them, but I don't think they're always very interesting to learn from, especially English Grammar in Use. It is boring, super boring and super dry and sometimes a bit complicated. So I like to use a different series from Saddleback Publishing called Basic English Grammar. They have 1 and 2. That's a good place to start. Okay? Any grammar book that works for you is fine. If it works for you, that's great. But grammar is boring. Grammar is already boring naturally. You should find a book that does the best it can to make it interesting. Okay? Carwin, that's okay, my friend. My YouTube channel's right here. Thank you for sharing my lives, Carwin. Can I speak Chinese? 我不会说中文。为什么你问我？你说的什么？现在我教他们英文。试试听。加油，对啊，加油，熟能生巧。Do I know Kurdish language? No, I don't know any Kurdish. I did learn how to say hello, but there are 3 or 4 different Kurdish languages. And so I at one point I did know how to say hello in one of them, but I can't remember anymore. Do I live stream every day? Not every day. No, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do live streams. Tuesday and Thursday I do voice rooms. Okay? Tuesday and Thursday I do voice rooms. On weekends I usually don't do anything because I need a break. Osman says, I think YDS Publishing and Dilco are also good. Okay, I'm not familiar with those, but okay.为什么你要我说这个? Rorjan wants to know how to understand speaking Chinese. Well, you got to learn Chinese. I've been learning it for a long time. So it takes time. 学生，为什么你要我学？我要说学生。学生，为什么？太多。你说什么？ Tom, hello, Tom. 你好. Blessings to you. Good luck to you, Tom. I'm glad you like it, Nitya. Gute Nacht. Wie geht's? Dok Melegi says, I find the understanding of movies in English to be very difficult. Well, that's because movies are not supposed to teach you anything. Movies are entertainment. If you want to learn something, find something that is supposed to teach you. Okay? You can learn stuff from watching English movies and TV shows. But just remember, they're not meant to teach you anything. Okay? 学生好不好？想什么？我忘记，因为文明，我学中文在台湾，所以有时候我不可以读你写什么，因为他们写不一样的，你知道？所以有时候我听不懂。Okay. My schedule. I'll tell you my schedule one more time. And guess what, guys? Look at me. I'm out of coffee, so it's about time for me to go. I've been here for almost 2.5 hours. My schedule. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I usually start in the morning, New York City time. Okay? New York City time. So somewhere around 9:30, maybe 10. Okay? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I also have voice rooms, but I don't have a set schedule for that. I do that on purpose because I like to try to do different times so that I have different time zones. Different people are listening, not the same people all the time. Okay, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, almost always around 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Today was a little later, 10:20, I think I started today. Okay, but it's New York City time, Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Simple English cartoons are good. Yeah, cartoons are good. Yeah. Okay, 大家这是英文课。这是英文课，所以我觉得你们需要学英文。他们听不懂你写什么。写英文，你们需要练习写，练习写，加油！对啊 ，New York City， yeah， 9天跟11点早上，在美国早上，在中国晚上。I should have a poster with my schedule behind me. Laurent, I don't only because I sometimes change my schedule. It just depends. Okay? But right now, that's my consistent schedule. Okay? Mohammed Mahmoud wants to ask me about something for a minute. When I say Chinese, 你觉得这是好笑吗？好啊。Okay. Let's see. Mohammed Mahmoud wants to talk to me. Let's talk to Mohammed Mahmoud. Hello, Mohammed Mahmoud Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
How are you, my friend?
I'm glad to be with you again.
Good to see you. Oh, it's a little dark there. There you are.
Can you repeat it again?
I can hear you, yeah.
I want to ask you about something. I'm reading now a book, but actually it's not a difficult, but I don't understand some sentence. I don't know if there is a weird grammar or not.
Okay.
This is not. This is a book called "Change Your Life in 7 Days."
Okay.
One of the sentence: "The person we are afraid, we are." I don't know what is the meaning of this sentence.
We are afraid we are.
The person we are afraid, we are.
That's the whole sentence?
Yes, that is the sentence. I think
okay,
afraid
so-
must be there afraid of.
Well, no, you can say we are afraid and just no, you don't have to use an of with it, but that must be a response to something that they said before. So maybe if they were talking about being afraid and they're saying we often think that we're not good enough. We are afraid we are. Or in that case, it would be we are afraid we are not, right? So it's a little bit strange. You're right. The grammar is a little weird. It just depends on the context. Okay, Mohammed? I muted you, Mohammed, only because it was a little loud there, but you can unmute it now if you want to respond. So in the context, it probably makes sense. If you only wrote a sentence, we are afraid we are, yeah, I would think that's strange because without context, it doesn't make sense. Okay? Mohammed, you're muted. Can you unmute your microphone? There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
The second question is each question is simply designed to raise your awareness of what stops you from living from your authentic life. The second from there are two from in the same. I don't know why he used the second one.
Can you type that sentence for me so I can see it more clearly? Can you type it into the comments there?
Okay, I will.
Yeah, go ahead and type that in there. I'll see if I can tell you what they mean. But I will tell you guys this. Grammar is not always... Grammar is a set of rules, but let me put it to you this way. We break the rules often. We break the rules often because language is not about following rules. Language is a form of expression, and the rules sometimes make expression happen more clearly, but that doesn't mean you can't break them. It's just like music. When you learn to play music, we learn a bunch of rules in music too, but then we forget them and just express ourselves. So, for example, long time no see. Long time no see is a very common expression in America. And guess what? It comes from Chinese. In Chinese, they say, 好久不见. That's long time no see. Okay? So, we don't always follow the rules. Okay? Wenming says, but the exam follows the rules. You're right. The exams do follow the rules. But life is not an exam. So when you write a book, you don't need to follow the rules. When you write a song, you don't need to follow the rules. When you write a poem, you don't need to follow the rules. Okay? So let's see. What stops you from living from your authentic self? Ooh, I do think that's weird. You're right, Mohammed. It is weird. I do think it should be what stops you from living your authentic self. I don't think they need the second from.
I tried to translate many times.
Can you say that again, Mohammed?
I don't know if this mistake was anything right.
You tried to translate. Okay. Yeah.
This was a mistake while they were writing.
Yeah, translations are not always good. Translations are not always good.
I
So
try-
I think the proper translation would
Yeah.
probably just be what stops you from living your authentic self. Okay? Mohammed, your connection's a bit shaky, so I hope I got I answered your question for you.
Thank you
Mohammed, it's really hard to understand you because the connection's too shaky. So I'm going to let you go, but it was really great to talk to you, my friend, and I hope I answered your questions and helped you a bit. Come back and see me again sometime, okay? The sentence he wrote was, "What stops you from living your authentic self?" And there are two froms in there. What stops you from living from your authentic self? And I do think that's awkward. I don't think that most native speakers would write it that way. I think most native speakers would write, "What stops you from living your authentic self?" Okay. Let's see. What about songs for learning English? Dok Melagi, songs can be good for learning English, but you have to remember what I just said. Songs are entertainment just like TV and movies. They are not designed to teach you anything, and they don't have to follow any rules. So there are thousands of songs that have grammar that would not be considered correct on a test. Okay? Because it's more like poetry. Poetry doesn't care about grammar. Okay? All right. What changes have I experienced after learning languages, and how has it changed my views about the world? That's a good question. I like that question, Rojan. Learning a language changes your way of thinking somewhat significantly. Learning another language is kind of like becoming a minority, right? So suddenly you don't have the power that you normally have with your language. You feel like you're not in a position of power. You're in a position of weakness, because you don't know how to express yourself all the time. And you feel like you're in situations where you may not be able to express yourself very well. And that's humbling. It's very humbling when you learn another language, and especially in the beginning when you're really struggling. So learning another language, it can teach you how other people think, because sometimes a language itself will show you a different way of thinking. For example, in Chinese, in America, when we speak English, we often say a lot of polite words. Please, may I have this chair? Or may I ask you a question? May I go to the bathroom? Is it okay if I blah, blah, blah? We try to be very polite about the way we ask things often, okay? But in China, my experience was, it's not that they don't have those words, but between most people, when you're speaking, they speak more directly without those words, because those words are just naturally implied in the culture. So if I just say, 我要去厕所, means I want to go to the bathroom, that's normal. That's completely normal there. And they don't have a problem with it or think it's rude. I could say, 请问我要去厕所. I could say that please may I. But they don't often do it. It's just implied. But in English, if you just say, I want to go to the bathroom, it seems a little rude. We expect you to say, please, may I go to the bathroom? Okay? So there's a perfect example of a cultural difference that exists in language Again, it's not that they don't have polite words and they don't use them. They do sometimes. But in most situations in common language and common speaking, they just don't, because it's just naturally implied. The politeness is naturally implied. Okay? And there's another one. In China, we usually think foreigners are very direct when they say something. That's right, because in Chinese culture, they have something called face culture, which means you shouldn't say things very directly to someone because it's possible you might insult them or make them feel uncomfortable a little bit. Okay? For example, when I first got to Taiwan, my first job teaching at a bushiban, my boss, I went to her after a few months of teaching there, and I said, we need to change this, and we need to change this, and we need to change this, and we need to change this. And she was a bit upset because I was very direct about it. That's the way we speak. We speak pretty directly in that way. We just tell you, we think this needs to be changed. We don't mean to be offensive. We just think that it's more efficient to just speak directly in those ways. Okay? So you're right. In certain situations, we speak very directly without a lot of politeness, just direct language. And she was a bit upset, and so we had to talk about it, and I had to explain to her, I don't mean to insult your way. You were doing the best you could do with what you knew about it. But I think that if we change it to this way, I can do better as a teacher here. Okay? So learning any language gives you new insight into that culture, and learning a new language humbles yourself as a person and makes you feel it puts you in a constant state of humility, which means that you don't always feel like you're so great, right? I speak Chinese, but I still need to learn a lot. I still need to learn a lot. And learning never ends. Learning never ends. So when you climb to the top of one mountain, yeah, you got to the top of that mountain. But guess what? Now you can see the view. And you realize how far everything goes. There's still so much more to learn that you didn't know. So every time you climb to the top of a mountain, you just learn how much more there is to learn. Okay? And yes, language is linked to culture. So is music, and so is food. Okay? All right. Hold on, guys. Let me try to answer some questions that were here. How to change the thinking way. It's so hard, right? Well, sure, it can be, but it just takes consistency. Hello, Bouquet. Okay. Are country and pop music good for learning? Julio, that depends on the song. That depends on the song. Songs can be good for learning common English, but I would not say songs are a good way to learn proper English. Okay? That's right, Bellin. It's kind of naturally polite. Yeah. In my country, we learn English language in order to obtain more job opportunities and increase our employment rate in good companies. Is this a compelling reason to learn the language from my point of view? Sure, it's a compelling reason. I don't think it's the only compelling reason. If you want to learn something well, then you should give yourself more than one reason to learn, right? So anybody who climbs a mountain, anybody can climb a mountain. But if you have a good reason, you're going to climb better, right? So the more motivations you can find, the easier the climb will be. Okay, so earning more money and better job opportunities and employment, that's great. But there are lots of other reasons to learn English too. If you learn English, you can listen to English songs and music, and you can experience English TV and movies, and you can make friends who speak English in any culture. There are many, many reasons why you should learn any language, but particularly English, because it's what we call a lingua franca. It's a common language known around the world. Yes, Bouquet, you can ask me something. Mohammed, a book to read for intermediate level? Message me, Mohammed. Send me a private message and I'll see what I can do to help you. How long have I been an English teacher? Since 2009. You can't create a long sentence in English. How can you improve it? Well, long sentences are not always good. Short sentences are often better. That's the first thing I would say. And the second thing I would say is read. Bouquet. Read. Reading can show you how the language is used. So read things that have sentences that you want to be able to use. The more you read it, the more familiar you become with those new ways of using the language. Okay? Am I a Native American? No, I am an American. There's a difference between being an American and a Native American. Native American means a native who was born, whose entire heritage comes from America, right? So their grandfather, their great-grandfather, their great-great-great-grandfather, their great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, they all come from America. That's a Native American, okay? I am an American. I was born in America. My father was born in America, but my grandfather was not born in America, okay? Is it okay to learn slang and use it? It's okay. I don't really advise it. Mr. Kruger, I would say it's always better to learn the proper way to speak a language before you use the improper way. And sometimes it just makes you look immature. If you're using a bunch of slang, you don't know when it's appropriate and when it's not appropriate sometimes. Okay? So it's always appropriate to speak properly. It's not always appropriate to use slang. Okay? Ahmed wants to know how to improve your advanced vocabulary in English. Study etymology. Go to this website. Okay. Oops. That didn't work out. Let's try that again. etymonline.com. Go to that website. Learn etymology. That's a great way to learn advanced vocabulary. Okay? If you're bad at reading, then that is what you should do. Whatever your weaknesses are, focus on your weaknesses. What do I wish that I knew when I began teaching that I know now? Wow, you asked some good questions. Let me think about that for a moment. I think I would say that teaching takes time. To become a good teacher takes time. You have to develop a style. It's like being a musician. When you learn a musical instrument in the beginning, you have no style. Most people, they don't have any style. They're still learning the instrument itself. And when you're in that process of learning, you can't really have your own style. But after you've mastered the instrument, then you have your own style. And so I wish I would have known that. It would have given me more patience when I was younger. Chucky says, I want to improve my speaking skill, but I've been learning for a long time, but my speaking still hasn't improved. Well, Chucky, then focus on something other than speaking. Guess what? Reading helps speaking. Listening helps speaking. Writing helps speaking. So you cannot become an expert in a language if you only learn one part of that language. Okay? All right, guess what, guys? It's been a long time, and I need to take a break. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes. I need to go get some work done. I've been here for a long time answering a lot of questions. I can give you some advice to improve your English. Go to my YouTube channel. 可是如果你是中国人，我觉得你需要好棒的魔法。如果你要用 YouTube， 可是我觉得你可以啊。很多的中国人，他们看我的 YouTube， 我不知道。How do they do it? Yes, my YouTube channel. I have dozens and dozens and dozens of videos there. Okay? Okay. Okay, guys, again, I got to take a break, but thank you. Come back and see me again tomorrow. I'll have a voice room. Okay? Water off a duck's back is saying that means it's easy. Or it doesn't bother you. Like, it doesn't bother you. Okay? All right, guys. I got to take a break. But thank you guys for watching and following. Please go to my YouTube channel. Sign up. You can also go to my website, AFIECEnglish.com. 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 You can find my YouTube channel there too. So go to my website, AFIECEnglish.com. It means a friend in every corner English, just like the name of this stream. Okay? I have been on Hello Talk for about 10 years. I have about 67,000 followers here. They don't follow me because I'm cute. Well, maybe a few. They follow me because I teach English. Okay? So follow me. Follow my YouTube. Please share. Please, it's social media, guys. If you want to see me here, you have to help me too, right? I've been here for 2 hours and 45 minutes helping you. So now you have to do your part. You have to go share, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your whatever. Tell your dog. Okay? Tell everybody about what I do if you like what I do. Okay? All right. Have a good morning. Have a good afternoon. Have a good evening wherever you are in the world. And don't forget to be a language warrior. Being a warrior means being a fighter, and learning a language is a fight. You must fight your fear. You must fight your fear. Okay? Okay, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Channel name right here, one more time. AFIEC English. AFIEC English. AFIEC English. That's my website. You can find my YouTube channel on my website. Okay? Bye-bye, everyone. See you tomorrow.